Hello everyone, and welcome back to the office alcove transformation. My name is Asmara, and I'm on a quest to make my room feel more like me, and I'm starting off with my workspace / gaming cove. Last time we discussed my ideas and goals for the space and got straight to work painting the walls and purchasing the main furniture pieces. We also moved out of the old house and into the new one. So exciting things. Be sure to check it out if you haven't already, because this time around we're going to decorate, and I'll also give you the full in-depth tour. To jog your memory, this is what the office looked like when we last left off. I definitely love the vibe that's slowly coming together, but we desperately need to get some decor in here. So here's what I'm thinking. For starters, I need to set up my PC, so that needs to go over on the desk. I would love to get a nice area rug just to anchor the space. I would love to get some curtains up on those big windows, really highlighting that architectural piece. I would like to get a floor lamp for the corner to go by the chair. I want to get a plant to add some greenery into the space and bring in some new life. And last but not least, I would like to put some artwork up on the wall. We have lots of shopping and searching to do, but I first want to refine the styles I'm looking for. All right, you guys, I need to go ahead and narrow down my aesthetic. What are the types of styles I'm drawn to when out decor shopping? I want to make this process easier on myself, so I took some online quizzes, the most reliable, to see what they would categorize my interior design style as. So I have my results here, and I'm gonna share them with y'all. The first site says my main style is global. Thanks to its savvy use of textiles and appeals to a traveler's senses, your global side knows a thing or two about storytelling. And then my sub-styles, according to the same site, is industrial, transitional, and rustic. That's site number one. But going off of that, the second site says that I am eclectic. So being eclectic, I love figuring out how to combine different designs into one cohesive whole. You prefer bright, saturated colors, intricate pattern on pattern, and pieces that give a nod to the vintage era. I definitely think that's true. I love thrift shopping, I love antique shopping, and I love finding just like cute little knickknacks, and especially things that definitely give more of a vintage feel. I always think those things are kind of fun and unique. And also I'm doing pattern on pattern today with my outfit. The leopard print and the polka dot skirt. You guys, how did they know? So yes, I definitely think that's accurate. And then this last site says my interior design style is Art Deco. This one reads, your style is sultry, romantic, and it doesn't reveal all of its beauty at once. Your style is alluring and calculated in its ways. It knows when to be obvious and discreet in its flamboyance. It's opulent without being pompous. Bold but welcoming. I like that. Alrighty, so I definitely feel like I have more of a vintage eclectic style. I like, taking elements from other styles, but I also love things that are a nod to the vintage Art Deco era. I really just enjoy unique finds, unique things. So using this knowledge, let's go ahead and see what type of decor pieces I can find in store. We're in lamp heaven. Ooh, this is a cool one. This one also looks promising. Gold hardware. Ooh, actually, that's not a bad price. We've made it to clearance. There's always good things, good finds in clearance. Oh, this one's so cool. There's so many rugs. I didn't find a rug option that really caught my eye at the first store, but I did love that gold floor lamp we found. So I purchased it and set it up right away. But the rug hunt continues, so let's see if I have any luck at store number 2. All right, y'all, I'm in Target, and I'm looking for like organization stuff for my room and also like the bathroom, but I came across this rug that I thought could be good for like the office space. It's kind of giving me boho vibes with the pattern and like the jute material. The boho was not completely, the style we're going for, but I feel like it could work because of like the cream and black, and also just bring some more texture into the space, This is giving me more vintage eclectic. Wait, you guys, I found this rug. So groovy. I would love this. I wasn't sure if this design was the rug, so I didn't want to spend the money on it straight up, but I love the style of it and the vibe that it's giving off, so I'll keep it in the back of my mind. And in the meantime, let's look at some curtains. And I'm definitely thinking a curtain sheer. Ooh, this is a pretty one too. I like this one as well. Or these possibly. Some potential options here. I think I'm leaning towards these two. Probably this one because it has like a cool kind of vertical texture on it. I did end up going with the textured shears in the natural ivory color. I can't wait to put them up on the wall. It's gonna continue letting a lot of light come through those windows while still adding layers of texture to the space. But before I left Target, there was just one more decor piece that was calling my name. Wait, you guys, these vine lights? Did they know it was coming? This is so on brand. Ooh, possibly. Wait, I'm gonna price check this. I bought the vine lights, y'all. They were just way too perfect. Okay, so I'm shopping for frames, realizing that I didn't even measure the prints that I have. So I'm just kind of guesstimating. I can't believe I forgot to measure. I usually am pretty good at that. I measure everything. I always come prepared. Ooh, I want a plant for the office. Now that we have the lamp, curtains, picture frames, and plant, the next few days consisted of me finding small gems across a variety of different stores, but the one thing I did struggle with finding was the perfect rug. So I took it upon myself to purchase one online. I knew for sure that I wanted the rug to be black and cream to pull in the other colors of the office, taking inspiration from the abstract, almost like cow print rug that I saw earlier at Target. I ended up coming across this design, which became a winner. I love the whole white speckles against the black background. I feel like it really grounds the dark color in the space. Now that I have all of the things purchased and ready for this transformation, it's time to put everything together. I started with potting my new plant. The common name for this plant is called a dumb cane, which I feel like is kind of mean, but I bought it anyways. I got it at the hardware store. Alrighty. So I went ahead and I set up this plant, but now I'm about to put the rug down. So I ordered a rug online and I literally spent so long looking at rugs. It's kind of ridiculous. So we're gonna put that rug down now. I need to vacuum first though. I definitely think this rug could have been bigger, but I didn't want to spend the money for the bigger rug. I don't know, y'all. I'm really not trying to regret this decision. Maybe I should have just spent the extra money. I'm gonna make this work. Your girl is frugal, Fran, okay? But in retrospect, I don't think the rug size is that bad. I wasn't trying to return it or anything, so we're keeping it. So with that out of the way, let's put up the curtains to frame the space. Ooh, I love the texture of these. I will say, love these curtains. Well, technically they're shears. I feel like they're super like light and airy. And I feel like this is perfect for this space. All right, so curtains are up on the wall. I'm going to go ahead and try putting these up. What I'm gonna do is just try to implement these vines onto the two curtain panels and maybe just try to leave out the panel in the center. So we'll see how that works, but I'm excited. I think this is gonna look so cool, especially when the curtains are drawn, like having this like dreamy vine sort of background. I can't wait to see how the vine lights look at night with the whole space complete. But now I need to set up my PC. My computer and all of the peripherals have been in boxes on the floor for weeks. So it's about time we get all of this in place. I'm actually building a monitor desk mount, which I've never had before, but I wanted to try because I figured it would help free up some space on my desk. So I will say, if you do want to invest in a monitor desk mount, make sure that it's suited to hold the size of your monitor or monitors. Monitors. That sounds fancy. I have a pretty large main monitor. It's 32 inches. And then I also have a vertical monitor. So I had to ensure that in the product details, the monitor mount that I bought could account for the size of my monitors. So that is something to keep in mind. Not all desk mounts are created equal. But now that my monitors are set up and my PC is in place, it is time to deck the walls. Using the decorations I picked out, I arranged them in different layouts on the floor to figure out how I wanted to arrange them up on the wall. I came up with this design, which I went ahead and replicated with some help from my dad. All right, we have done it, y'all. We just made over this entire alcove of my room. Let's take a moment to remember what it looked like before. And here is what it looks like after. Welcome to the new space, everyone. So I wanted to do more of an in-depth tour just to talk a little bit more about the actual things I have here and kind of the meaning behind them. So I wanted to get started with the art. So I'm obsessed with this wall. It's obviously what you guys see in the background of most of my videos. And I actually got these 3 prints, the black and white ones, from an artist based in Charleston, South Carolina. I don't know why I said that so weird. They're from an artist based in Charleston, South Carolina. But I really love them. I love how they're simplistic. It pops against the dark wall. I'll put the artist information up on the screen. So I got these 3 pieces. I got the vintage camera over there just because, you know, your girl is into videography, video production, photography, that whole thing. So that kind of, you know, alludes to my work that I do. Over on the far right side, I have a plant. I don't know if y'all can see, but they're like 2 hanging plants. And I think those are really pretty. Kind of symbolizes growth and evolution. And in the middle, I have this print that says, "It takes courage to grow up and be who you really are." And it's a quote by E. Cummings. I really feel like this quote kind of symbolizes what I want to represent with Asmara. So I put that right in the middle. And of course, it has like a little butterfly, which I love butterflies. I feel like they're a symbol of evolution and growth. Same with my 2 little butterfly preserves over here. Basically, I bought these also in Charleston. It's like a vendor that preserves butterflies and displays them. And they're super beautiful. They have so many different options, but I got these 2. And then last but not least, I just have this vintage gold frame. It actually was silver when I bought it, but I spray painted it gold just to match with the decor. So I love that addition as well. So that kind of explains the decorations on this wall. I also wanted to talk a little bit about this drawer chest and how I organized it because I feel like I got some good systems set in place. So this top drawer is actually for my stationery. So your girl, you know, is a creative, a multi-passionate creative. So I have a lot of like arts and crafts supplies and stationery. I actually used a shoebox as a drawer organizer. So that's a really good tip. Reuse cardboard boxes, shoe boxes, boxes you receive from deliveries. They definitely come super clutch. And this one just so happened to fit perfectly into the depth of this drawer. I also use rubber bands. So like around all of my different types of colored pencils or markers, I have rubber bands sectioning them off. So that's another great tip. You can use this like for wires. You can use this for a lot of different things. So yes, that's my stationery. Pretty self-explanatory, not really much to explain in there. My middle drawer, I actually bought literal drawer dividers for this one. So this is where I store all of my cables. So I actually used a label maker to divide what each of these sections mean. So I have cables for my monitor, I have cables for my audio, my microphones, and then I have cables for my controller, my Xbox controller, as well as my camera. So various cables to connect those to my computer and, you know, other external displays. And then over here are all of my USB adapters. So like USB-A to USB-C, etc. And then back here are my Ethernet cables. I have a couple extra cables to connect to the internet. And last but not least, in this final drawer, I have other random things that are not really office related, but I still use very frequently in this space. So I have like my makeup bag and mirror in here because I do my makeup like in this space in front of the giant window. And then I also have like a binder divider and other folders with other files that I would need like in an office space. So I use that as storage as well. Oh, and I didn't even mention I have my plant food, like my fertilizer and stuff for my plant because as we'll see next, I have a plant over here. So it just makes sense to have the stuff for it, you know, nearby. And then I also have an empty water bottle that I use to water my plants. So that's in here as well. So random stuff, but it still makes sense because I use these things in this space. So that is my drawer situation here. Alrighty, so we're moving on to this section now. I have a plant, obviously, and so I've been having a struggle keeping this plant alive, to be honest. This was so much more lively when I first got it, and I've really tried to keep this plant, you know, thriving. I bought fertilizer, I repotted it, but this plant still is not looking, you know, as fresh as it once did. One of my friends who's really into plants has been trying to help me, so I'm just kind of waiting to see. But anyways, it's a long way of saying that this is my plant. I also, over here, I have this dog, which I bought at a craft show. So it's all crochet, and the dog, actually, the limbs move and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. So this is my little studio dog that sits on this chair. I actually have this plant stand right here, which I use as basically like a laptop stand for when I'm sitting at this chair. So like when I'm on my laptop, say I'm on like a video call or something, a lot of times I'll just put my laptop here and I'll just sit in this chair. That's one of my new additions that y'all didn't actually see in the footage. Oh, and I guess I should probably tell you about the stuff that's on this desk drawer thing. So actually, the first thing I want to talk about are these super cool bookends that I'm using. Like, look at the detail of this, you guys. These are actually curtain holders. Like, I think they're supposed to be hung up like this. You're supposed to put a curtain rod through. But I found these antique shopping and I thought that they were so cool looking. I wanted to use them as bookends. So here they are. I just have some like nice coffee table books to display in them. I'm always burning a candle in here, or almost always. And then I also have another vintage camera. So I obviously have like the picture up there that y'all saw. And then I have like a real vintage camera here, which I bought at a different antique shop. So yeah, again, I'm just bringing together the whole vintage eclectic vibe. Right above my chair and my lamp that I have here, I have my super cool vine like curtain string lights hanging up. I have these both on the right side and the left side. This looks so cool lit up at night. I'll be sure to insert some B-roll so you guys can see. Such like a dreamy vibe, especially with the neon sign lit up in the back. It just makes it such a magical space that night. Welcome to the desk. So this is obviously where we game, where we work. I actually have a sitting standing desk, so you can adjust the height with these buttons right here. You can also like program set height. So as you can see, we going up, and then I'm just gonna put this back down to my program sitting height. But I like putting it in standing mode. Sometimes when I'm streaming or recording a video, or if I've just been sitting all day, like I haven't been moving all day, sometimes it's good just to like stand and get your body, you know, up and moving. So really great if you like work long hours at a desk. But yes, have all my computer things, of course, but something I did want to share is that I actually have a wireless charging station here. I put it on top of my audio interface, but I bought this from Nomad, and I can actually charge my phone and my AirPods here, which is really convenient when I'm just working but still want to have my phone and stuff like nearby. You can also plug in some stuff in the back. You can plug in a USB-C port and also a USB-A port. So if you don't want to use the wireless charging, you can also use a real like plug, you know? So that's really convenient to have. Oh, and I should also talk about my little mic arm. So I have like these really pretty flowers and stuff that I had on originally, and then I took them off and I put them back on. But one of my struggles with my mic stand, you guys, is that whenever I like put it down, it's like blocking half of the screen. And when I'm sitting, half of like my second monitor is like not visible. So I'm wondering, you guys, for those of you who are also creators, what do you do with your mic arm? Like, where do you put it so it's not blocking your computer screen? Because I need to figure out something, a different placement for this. I also bought this book, you guys, which I thought was just really pretty. As you can see, it has like a butterfly going into chrysalis on the front, but the illustrations are honestly just pretty, and it documents just like cool moments in nature, and that's like overexposed, so y'all can't really see. There you go, you can kind of see there. There's a lot of really like pretty moments in nature. I thought it was like a neat little like coffee table book. So I have it here for decoration. One more thing I want to share is that I actually added this. So this is still a work in progress. I basically printed out a bunch of comments and DMs I've received that I really appreciate and pinned them up on this cork board. In the middle, I have a text that says, "Remember your why." And actually, I just use printer paper, and a lot of it has started like curling. So I feel like I need to print it on like cardstock or something a little bit heftier. So I think I'll do that next time. Also, this is my PC down here. I didn't show this, but I have a lot of things plugged up to it. My headphones are also stored down here as well, on this little hook on my desk. And also behind here, you might be able to see it, I have my Xbox controller. So it's set up on a little like charging station back there so that my Xbox controller is always charged when I need it for gaming. And then this like stick behind me is actually a ring light. So that's over there. And you can also see over to the right or over to the left, I have my big softbox lamp. So that's what helps light me up when I'm recording and streaming. What I also want to show you guys is my creative closet and some ways I organize it. So my other creative gear and craft supplies, this is where that all resides. So number one tip I would definitely tell you guys, invest in S-hooks, or at least with me for my camera gear. I had to really utilize the vertical space of this closet, and so I have like my camera bag here, I have my tripod bags, I have the bag for the stand I use for my backgrounds, like my photo backgrounds. Down there I have like the bag for my softbox lamps. Up here I actually have a whole separate camera bag specifically for lenses. So that's what this is. I just have all my lenses and I'm able to transport it if I need to. This is actually a teleprompter, a mini teleprompter rig. And a lot of my excess gear I just store in these shelves, and I have them labeled. So that's a really big tip. Label your boxes or bins so you actually know what's inside of everything. And speaking of my craft supplies, so ignore this pile of stuff to the left. That's like childhood stuff and other things I just need storage for. But this like storage unit right here, I found it at TJ Maxx. And this houses all of my like craft supplies. So I have like paper up top. I have paints in this one, acrylic paints. I have like other painting supplies, palettes, brushes, a couple of spray paints, adhesives in here. Other decorative things are in here, and down here is like fabrics and beads. So this is something else I also could label, but since I pretty much know like what's in everything, I didn't really need the label for that. But an organizational unit is great for craft supplies. I also have a couple of dedicated bins for my completed craft projects and other overflow decor. So that's what these bins are for. This middle shelf is actually stuff I bought for videos, so like clothes and other things, random things I've made videos about. This, of course, is my extra gear like I talked about before. And then I have some empty space up above. Another tip is that actually on the back of this door, I have a shoe like storage thing. But another cool tip I thought about is you can actually use something like this for camera lenses. Just think of creative ways that you can store your gear. That is a little peek at my creative closet, and hopefully this gives you some tips about how you can organize your craft supplies or your tech gear. So that is it. This is definitely not a typical gamer room, but that's kind of the point. I'm hoping that you guys can get inspiration from this video. I hope that it motivates you to really decorate your space in a way that feels good and comforting to you. But something else I do want to say is that if you do have a dream office space in mind, do not get too worked up over the material things or the fancy gears and gadgets that I have or that other creators you watch might have. You guys, you do not need fancy things to create quality product. The monetary value of your setup does not equate to the value of your work. And so just keep that in mind. I just remember, like, when I was younger, watching gaming setup videos and being like, I could never afford that one day, or sometimes thinking that like I needed that to be like legit as a creator, but that's really not the case. Start where you are with what you have. I actually talked about how I got started with making gaming content in this video. I forget where it links, but it's where I talked about my very first PC build, and I also went through the history of my gaming computers. And if you don't have the ideal space that you maybe want one day, the ideal workspace, the ideal game room, just make little changes to the room that you already have to make it just feel a little bit more homey and a little bit more like you. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching and tuning in. My name is Asmara, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.